What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn YouTube shit. Hey man, we are lit to man. Turn to motherfucking day. Show hitting outside big crib in the gang. Show hitting outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia deal thing in Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day, be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you you are, but also never put yourself in a position you don't belong. Let's stay humble. Let's go revolution on this movement. Keep y'all right first. Come to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright. Boom. Turn to motherfucking day. Show hitting outside big crib in it. Gang, shooting outside shit, man. Gang, go. Shooting outside shit, man. Hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a good game, man. A good show, bro. This video today, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it just goes to show you, man. It don't matter how far you get into the game and how good you do it. You gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a real motherfucker at the end of the day. Crip. Because a lot of this shit, man, it can end just like that if you know what I'm saying, on some bullshit. So we got Nick Briz and the Hooligans with Chrswht, how they fucking, I don't know, just deplete themselves. I mean, Nick Briz, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how did it come down to this? You know what I'm saying? For being one of the biggest known, you know what I'm saying, I guess white type of performer who go to the hood and exploit motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, players to now just trash. I guess, like I said, man, when you come in this bitch with ill intentions and you really not a real motherfucker and you just use the black community to be like pawns and peons, people gonna snip that out and your time gonna come. But hey, you gotta be real, man. Keep it real to yourself at the end of the day. And let's get it, man. What's up? We got A Bando, how everything went wrong for Nick Briz. Basically the downfall of Nick Briz. I mean, I really don't know him like that, but like his channel, I watched his videos, you know, his basketball videos and the drama that went down. But like I said, man, you just never know how people really are behind the scenes.
3 years ago, the basketball scene on YouTube was probably the best it's ever been. You had various popular YouTubers playing in 1v1s, there was all types of reactions being made, and then there was also the most popular type of basketball content at the time, park takeovers. And this was a lane mainly dominated by two popular creators at the time, known as Devontae Frieda and the one and only Nick Briz. And while both of them completely dominated the space, it was also for two completely different reasons, which has unfortunately led to the making of this video, because while Frieda has since gone on to become one of the most loved and popular creators within the basketball space, Nick Briz, on the other hand, managed to do the complete opposite. But what exactly did he do? Why was it so bad? And how did he go from being one of the most popular basketball creators on the internet to one of the most hated? Well, that's probably what you're here to figure out. But first, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the tribe with the biggest driver. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into how Nick Briz ruined his YouTube career. Okay, so to start, for those of you unfamiliar with Nick Briz, he started his career off a few years ago on Instagram. He began going viral on the platform due to his insane vertical and his crazy dunking ability.
Yeah, he did,
his dunks
dunk
weren't
really
super
high.
flashy or something that would win an NBA dunk contest, but his vertical was so insane that it looked like he was literally floating through
Yeah, I remember that,
These
yeah.
videos would end up spreading all across the internet, specifically Instagram. And with these videos going viral on the internet, it led to him getting some opportunities within the basketball space, such as partnering up with a well-known basketball company known as Ball is Life, which is a popular media company that covers all aspects of basketball from social media to high school to AAU to college to even the professional level. So of course being partnered with a platform like this would help Nick kickstart his basketball career on social media. This is when he would switch over to YouTube back on January 14, 2020. And of course he didn't initially start his career with park takeovers, but his videos at the time had a very similar concept early on. At first, much like his Instagram content, his YouTube videos was really focused around his ability to dunk and jump high, which even led to him posting some tutorials on how to jump higher and further. And while these tutorial videos did pretty well for him to start, Nick would quickly realize that to be successful on YouTube and his social media in general, he would have to become some sort of menace because
you gotta start as much drama as you can, bitch.
Drama. So this is when his YouTube content would switch from being purely about basketball to being more about the negative side of the sport.
You gotta start as much drama as you can, bitch.
The Savage Squad, which quickly became known for their physical play style and their very aggressive trash talking. And due to their toxicity on the court, it seemed like every video consisted of them getting into some
you gotta take a bullet out here, nigga.
Which led to most of these videos going insanely viral. These videos would end up
ready to lose his life in the hood, nigga.
Before you know it,
boy, go to the hood. Boy, I'ma get that ass popped, boy.
Once he got to that point, there was no looking back. Fans were intrigued to see what was next for the Savage Squad, what city was they going to, what park were they taking over, and more importantly, what altercation was going to break out
I remember that nigga came through with a beer,
every major city,
hit that nigga in the face, nigga.
Focus on the rougher or hood type areas. They even went to popular hoods like O-Block.
Yeah, it's definitely the plan. We coming out the woods, we out here about a block from O-Block, God. I can't lie, I'm a little scared.
And with each hood they visited, it seemed like the situations they got involved in.
Man, it's already getting dandy, motherfucking white people. Even this shit again, get to the ass, get popped out here, boy.
At the time, there was no basketball park interviews that were more entertaining than what we were seeing from Nick Briz and the Savage Squad. And I'm sure many people that was around at that time would agree with me because every single video Nick Briz posted to his YouTube channel was doing nearly 1 million views, if not more. And he was doing these numbers relatively easily, which triggered reactions from some of the top YouTubers in the community, such as Cash Nasty and Flight Reacts. At this point, not only Nick, but the entire Savage Squad probably felt like they were at the top of the world. I mean, as I just said, literally every video they posted was doing nearly 1 million views, if not more, and Nick Briz at the time was also gaining thousands of subscribers per day, which led for him going to just 100,000 subscribers to well over 600,000 subscribers in just a matter of a few weeks. But unfortunately for Nick, this high would only last for so long because as fast as he got to the top of the industry, he would end up falling just as quickly. Everything took place on September 20th, 2021, shortly after Nick Briz would announce via Instagram that the team was pulling up to New York to play in the infamous Rucker Park, urging fans to pull up and bring out some of the best hoopers in the city, as he's always looking to recruit new people to the team.
We're recruiting at all times, bro. We're recruiting at all times, bro. Bring the city out. Y'all bring the hoopers out, and let's fucking get after it, bro.
And moments after this, Chrswht, a popular member of the Savage Squad, took to Instagram to inform social media of his departure away from the team, stating that they were fakes instead of savages, and also including a bunch of police emojis within this post. This sent the internet into a frenzy because Chris was one of the fan favorites of the team, mostly because whenever altercations started, he was always
crash out for nothing, goofy ass.
Pressing someone or tussling with another, 9 times out of 10,
crash
any
out
fight
for
you seen in
nothing.
a Nick Briz video has something to do with Chrswht. So obviously, this
They
caught
wanna get
fans
stabbed.
off guard with him leaving, especially on the same day that they had planned to be in his home
They had
city.
Carlos, dumbass, and the other niggas go out there looking crazy.
Time eventually telling the world what sparked all of this. And while in the process, he will also expose Nick for not only faking his content, but for also not paying his players, who are all key parts of the videos that he makes.
Recorded the conversation
Me and Carlos. But homie just had Carlos go on live and be like, tell the people how much, how great you're doing because I give you $1,200 a month and these people are kind enough to let you stay in their house. Homie want to jump on live and have people talking about I'm having a mental breakdown. Yo, Carlos, bro, am I right? Isn't he giving you $1,200 a month? Does he not own 50% of your fucking videos?
Damn.
Okay. Did he not stage the fights?
Damn.
I'm saying, bro. Come on. I'm saying, bro. Come on, man. Free Carlos.
Thug
And he's
ass.
just taking advantage of you. Carlos, this man, bro, Carlos, how can you be okay with that shit, bro? $40,000 a month. I saw one of the analytics, it was $38K. And how much he gave you with that, Carlos, last month? Last month, you only gave me $600. He gave me $500, then $600 last month, which is $1,100, my guy.
So of course, all of this will go viral and even led to Nick Briz sparking his own
Y'all be
Instagram
mad as hell.
live.
You getting
And
like 30,000, 40,000. You don't give me like $1,000 out of that shit.
Really just tried to deflect and draw the attention back to him and his Savage Squad being in Rucker Park in the upcoming days. But
I'm about to lose
Nick
my
tried
life
his
out
best
here.
to just completely avoid this entire thing, Chrswht wouldn't let up at all because he would continue going on and on exposing Nick Briz on social media more and more each day, even telling the world that all of the fights that occurred in Nick's videos were actually paid actors, and the even crazier part was that nobody on the team knew about this other than Nick Briz.
Where it was me, you, Carlos, and Iman and Akeem played with us, bro. Like, I put two guys out there that were just talking shit the whole time, bro. You almost fought one of them, remember? I want to punch him in his face. Bro, those were fake paid characters, bro. Like, no one knew it. I didn't tell nobody. I gotta get back to my being quiet about shit, bro. Like I was doing. Like, only you know and only I know, bro.
Yes, you heard that audio recording, right? Nick Briz was literally paying people to fight his own teammates without giving any types of warnings or
Damn, so you think this real fade and this motherfucker just paying niggas to get you fight a fade with
which
you.
is the reason why Chrswht got upset. He knew that they were planning to go back to his hometown of New York City, and he didn't want Nick Briz to pull any of his funny stunts in New York as it's a rougher area, and he didn't want any of these quote-unquote stunts to go
In New York, nigga, you hit old block, nigga. Like,
This is where everything went left. When you're from New York, you know the environments. You know what's going on. You know who's who, what's what. You know the parks, especially play ball.
New York not really like that, bro. They like that.
You know the general standard of going to play basketball is like there. You know that shit. Alright. Nick's idea is to go to Rucker Park.
You go down to Texas, nigga.
And his statement is, I just want to play. We're just gonna go play regular basketball. I'm not doing. I know how to, handle situations. I'm not gonna go there and start a problem, man. And I told him, I said, bro, I don't think you understand. You can't just go to Rock Park and think you're gonna film, and people are not gonna show out, and they're not gonna put premier ballers on us, and you're not gonna get a crazy run.
So this will all continue to get worse and worse for Nick, as Chris will continue to expose him for taking advantage of his teammates as well. The teammate that Chris was really referring to the most in these videos was Carlos, a fan favorite of the Savage Squad team, who Chris claimed was autistic, and he would allege that Nick was taking advantage of Carlos's disability by not paying him what he was worth at all, stating that Nick was only giving Carlos at most $1,200 per month, while he was raking in over $40,000 per month. And he would even take this all a step further, claiming that Nick Briz even forced Carlos to sign a contract where he would control not only Carlos's Instagram account, but he would also take 50% of all the money that Carlos made from his YouTube channel as well.
Oh man, free Carlos. Let me explain something. First of all, Nick owns and controls Carlos' Instagram. When Carlos went to go play with Duke Skywalker, Nick booted Carlos out of it, changed the password, and then forced him to sign a contract where he's making $1,200 a month. Okay? and getting no money off of merch or anything, and he can use Carlos' likeness, name, in every sense. That's what he did.
Damn.
So he owns Carlos.
Yeah, be careful with these white people, man.
He owns his channel.
He don't give a fuck about you, girl. They'll take your ass out.
Squad goes to play with somebody else. He is going to own his Instagram, keep his Instagram, and keep his YouTube channel.
So, of course, this was all bizarre information that was coming out about one of YouTube's top basketball creators, which had the entire community stirred up because, as I said, they were one of the most viral groups on the internet at the time. And all of this exposure triggered reactions from creators as big as Flight, Cash, and even Duke Dennis, which will ultimately only lead to even more drama. You see, Cash Nasty, a very respected YouTuber who's been in the community forever, was actually featured within one of Nick's videos. And within that video, there was an altercation with the guy trying to press Cash, and it was later revealed that Nick actually paid this guy to start the whole confrontation. And when Cash found this out, it basically put a big dent in their friendship because Cash was someone who always showed Nick nothing but love. So of course he felt a little betrayed knowing that Nick would do something to possibly put his career or life in jeopardy, which Nick would later apologize for.
Of all people, this would come from him. This would come from him. And fast forward to now, bro, that shit really hurt me, bro. That shit really hurt me, Nick. Bro, I waited 3 days. I waited 3 days for him to just come out with a serious apology. Just hit me up. I ain't gonna say that he didn't hit me up and didn't say my bad or something like that, bro. But the apologies were beat around the bush. It wasn't him taking accountability. Like I could respect the fact he said, "Yo, you know what, Cash, bro? I done this right here. My bad, bro. I got caught in a moment. I got caught in the YouTube algorithm, getting clicks or whatever it is. And I wouldn't. I would have forgave them. Because I would have had more respect for that.
And then came the Duke Dennis situation, which was a lot more serious. And this beef didn't end so peacefully for Nick Briz.
Oh yeah, because you put up to D-Block.
Had a big long-running beef on social media that really stemmed from Nick continuously calling out Duke Dennis and AMP to play him in the Savage Squad in the 5v5, which Duke would constantly deny due to AMP not having really any serious basketball players. And that led to Nick trying to continuously troll Duke on social media, saying that he was scared and this and that, basically trying to force him to play. And eventually that beef between the two of them would die down a little bit up until the point of July 25th, 2022, when AMP would drop their annual XXL freshman cypher. And during that cypher, Kai and Phantom would take it amongst themselves to diss Nick Briz and some of their lyrics.
You a bitch, let's be real, you a little shit. 45, fake ass that nigga, you can suck my dick.
So obviously they trolled Nick about faking his content, and at that point it was about a year since Chrswht had exposed him for everything he was doing. So around the time the cypher dropped, Nick was basically just going to the last little bit of career.
Nick, you a bitch.
But you see, after AMP dropped that diss, it kind of made him a little relevant again.
Yeah.
So he decided to try to completely capitalize off this moment the best way he could, which is by being a quote-unquote menace. This led to him once again trying to start up this beef with Duke, taking some jabs at him on social media, and then he would do the unthinkable and pull up to Duke Dennis's hood known as D-Block, which is a neighborhood in South Carolina that Duke and his friends and family grew up in, that was nicknamed D-Block to honor his late cousin D. So in the video, when Nick pulled up to D-Block, he didn't really do anything bad. He was giving away basketballs to the kids, he was cooking on the grill, and he even had them do challenges and things for money. But the problem was he didn't really do this out of the kindness of his heart. He was only here to make Duke look bad. And after he was here filming for a very brief period of time, eventually word was spread that he was on D-Block doing this whole fiasco, and that led to some of the D-Block steppers pulling up like D-Block Davo, and he completely ran Nick out of his shoes, which Nick Briz would later claim only happened because he feared for his life.
Y'all good? Yeah, you got no problem, bro. Yeah, but you keep posting all that crazy ass shit on Instagram and shit. Listen, what crazy stuff, bro? They been coming at me forever. Hey, bro, I'm No. I'm gonna let you know, bro. I'm about shit, bro. Hey, okay, to the camera. On Instagram. Hey, look, to the camera. To the camera. Tell him you respect this shit. Tell him you respect, dude. Tell him you respect, dude. It's really done. I'm telling you.
things
White
really started to
ass.
die down for Nick in his career.
Big
He
goof
burned
ass.
almost all of the bridges that he had. At this point, everyone knew he was a fraud, so the whole little fighting in the basketball videos thing wasn't really working out as much. So really the entire reason why people really enjoyed his content went completely out the window, and that's what led to him going from averaging over 1 million views per video to now struggling to hit 100,000 views within the past
crazy.
year. He recently returned to uploading on his YouTube channel just 4 weeks ago, and it seems like he's completely given up on the whole basketball content thing. And now it seems like he's turned to gambling and doing content for gambling sponsors and things of that nature, with his last 2 videos being college football bet guides. So it's safe to say that faking his content and not truly being himself was what really ruined Nick's career. And honestly, that was truly all just the surface level of all the things he got exposed for, because there was a lot of things that I didn't even mention. Like I said, he was being disrespectful to all of these YouTubers. He was taking advantage of his friends and teammates. I even remember Kai digging up an old tweet of him saying the N-word from like 2013. There was literally so much that he got exposed for within the span of like a year. It was insane. While he's now doing content
that white boy got cooked easily,
I bet
boy.
that he wishes he could go back in time and do this whole thing over again.
That's why you can't be snaking your friends, bitch. You snake some people who actually help you out. Then your asshole career get cooked.
Be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think of this entire situation?
He got cooked.
Do you think Nick Briz deserved this?
Hell yeah, goof ass.
His content?
You don't sign no niggas to no slave contract and be like, well,
let me know down
you should be
below
happy what you get, bitch.
If you're new to the channel,
Fucking niggas over his shit.
Button to join me on my journey to 25K. We're closing in on 21,000 right now, and I just wanted to say thank you to you guys.
Shout out to Doc Up. We finna see how the Hooligans fell apart, man.
Savage Squad. Trouble Team. Balls Life West Coast. Balls Life East Coast. Long ago, these 4 streetball teams lived together in chaos. Then, everything changed when the Savage Squad fell apart.
Damn.
Only Chrswht, enemy of all 4 streetball teams, could stop this. But when the team needed him most, he vanished. A couple days passed and a new streetball team assembled out of the ashes, a group of maniacs named the Hooligans. And although this team all played like they had criminal records, they had a lot to learn before they knew if they could actually get along. But I believed that this team would fall apart too.
Damn, the 4 hooligan nations that fell apart.
But first, run that intro.
Put it on my soul, don't want no handouts, I'll do it on my own. Trouble that 16s, hit the class like they songs. I get down to my last, then I'm running in your own minds, blowing up my phone, trying to see where I'm at.
Alright y'all, so before we get into this video, I just want to first thank you over 53,000 subscribers. It's really hard to balance making these videos, being in the comment section. All information I stated in this video is from YouTube videos and articles that I gathered online. Do not take what I said in this video as law. I'm literally just a dude, so obviously it would be impossible for me to know everything that's going on behind the scenes. I just try my absolute best to put all the pieces together based on what's presented.
That's all we ask, my boy.
Without further ado, let's get into this video. Man, it's been a minute since I covered the streetball beef, but oh my god, so much has happened. But in order to give a quick gist for today's storyline, a streetballer named Nick Briz had a streetball team named the Savage Squad, which was made up of 5 players. Nick Briz,
Dumbass.
Carlos,
Goofy.
Chauncey,
Dumb.
Iman, who
Stupid.
to this day is still in his car, smoking a blunt, with his hoodie on, and not saying a word for 5 years. And of course, Chrswht.
Big goof.
Chrswht ended up leaving the Savage Squad because he claimed that Nick Briz wasn't paying him enough money. This was a whole fiasco, and it really shook the whole streetball world. Once Chris left the Savage Squad, he scavenged New York to find the most maniac people he could find. Then he created his own streetball team called the Hooligans. And he promised that he would not be such a horrible leader as Nick was, specifically with money. Besides Chris, who was known for eating raw fish that he grabbed out of lakes with his mouth, his team consisted of 4 members. Greg Hill, who was a semi-pro basketball player, J.J. Moore, who played for the NBA G League, Tommy Handles, who was an above-average LA Fitness hooper, and Do-Rag Debo, who I honestly have no clue what he did.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure he was just a guy who wore a do-rag all the time.
Damn.
We finished a couple months of this team forming. This team as well fell apart. And we're going to find out how right now. April 9th, 2022. Greg goes on Instagram Live with Carlos from the Savage Squad. The same Carlos who was Chris's ex-teammate. So if you can't tell,
This is the street ball equivalent of treason. Carlos and Greg seem cool with each other, and Carlos even invites Greg and Chris to a 5v5 game. However, he claims that he understands if Chris doesn't want to come, or even if Greg refuses his offer because he's Chris's friend. However, Greg makes it known that the beef between Chris and Nick doesn't involve him at all.
If you want to do the ones or if you want to do the fives, if you want to do it, I understand you Chris's boy. And I know Chris.
Hey, we up for the beef.
You're saying that I'm against Chris. Like, listen, I got nothing against Chris. But the thing is, I don't know why do I got to be involved between him and Nick.
The beef between him and Nick is
bitch.
between him and Nick. Like, I could care less.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This encounter between Greg and Carlos may seem harmless or irrelevant, but it'll play a huge part in the beef between him and Chris later on, so keep it in mind. The last thing Chris wants is for one of his friends to be cool with someone that he hates. Think of Chris and Nick Briz like a toxic relationship that just broke up. Whenever a toxic relationship breaks up, usually one side starts telling all their friends to stop talking to the other side, or else they're a traitor. That's exactly what's going on between these two. However, they obviously just weren't in a relationship. Do not go too far with that. Do not think too far with that. Fast forward all the way to March, and the Balls Life West Coast squad announces that they'll be playing against the Hooligans. Out of nowhere, despite all this marketing, Chrswht begins to show signs and hints that the game might be canceled. He claims that Balls Life threatened to call the police on him if he showed up to the park, and he also claims that Balls Life was trying to pay Chris's teammates to play without him, which is extremely shady.
New users can now get NFL Sunday tickets.
That Balls Life was trying to pay Chris's teammates to play without him, which is extremely shady.
Today, I will not be at the event with Balls Life West Coast. I will no longer be doing anything that has to do with Balls Life. We had an agreement on how we were supposed to do the business. He switched it up. Once it switched up, it was a problem. I thought we resolved it. He then proceeded to go around my back and offer my players money to play without me. I'm not a person to ever tell somebody, hey, don't go get some money. I won't be there. Homies talking about police.
Meanwhile, while Chris was growling and having an ethical breakdown, Greg Held was casually on Instagram Live with a member of Balls Life West Coast team named Kenny Dobbs. He obviously couldn't give two craps about what Chrswht was ranting about.
I'm looking forward to seeing you do your thing, man. For real. Man, you already know.
He's up for the beef, nigga.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for what God has in store for me, man. So
the game eventually happened between the two teams, and the Hooligans lost clearly. So after the game was over and the Hooligans got spanked, Greg decided to go and have dinner with the Balls Life team. Now, obviously Greg is a grown man who can make his own decisions, and the fact that he lost a street ball game shouldn't be a reason why he can't go out and make some new friends. But Chris absolutely hated that Greg did this. And he was so angry that he went on Instagram Live to rant about it. He even makes an accusation that Greg got paid by Balls Life to play like trash and miss wide open shots.
I think Greg had dinner with you. I don't know. That's something you gotta ask him, bro. He's celebrating.
Question is, what was he celebrating? I don't know. A lot of things going on behind the scenes, pretty clear. Come play against the real Hooligans, not the dudes you paid to let you shoot wide open threes.
April 4th, 2022. Greg officially announced that he left the Hooligans. He claims that he has no problems with Chris, and he only left to focus on his own basketball journey.
But yeah, man, I'm just kind of focused on my own thing, man. It's no bad blood, bro. I don't wish no bad on Chris or nothing, bro. I wish him all the success in the world, bro. That's not what God had lined up for me, you know what I'm saying?
After this Instagram Live, Chris doesn't say anything for a couple days. It seems that they're both just trying to be as professional as possible about this whole situation and keep everything low-key. April 7th, 2022. After this goes down, Greg claims that Chris was only paying for their accommodations, food, and the trip. They were not on salary. This is the very first time that the public knew that Chris wasn't paying his players for the videos. Chris doesn't even pay his camera crew, which is kind of ironic because, you know, that's exactly what he accused Nick of doing. You feel me?
On my dead granddad, I didn't get paid. So you didn't get paid? No, we got paid for the trip. That's it. Like he paid for the flights, he paid for the hotel. That's all. That's it. I didn't get paid. That told me he paid for y'all. Nigga, Tommy got paid. You got paid. They got money. No, it's not even that he's broke. Cause he's not. He just didn't pay. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like everybody could connect the dots, bro. He don't pay camera people, bro. He don't pay other shit, dog. I'm already knowing.
Allegedly, Chris joined his Instagram live and commented that he did a ton of things for the team. Chris also claimed that he did in fact pay Greg, and whenever his bag got bigger, he was going to pay Greg more. Right after this Instagram live, Chris then hops on his own Instagram live to respond to Greg. He says that he was putting Greg in a position to win and build his own brand. And he also denies what Greg said about not getting paid. He also gives a story that one of Devontae Freeman's teammates with the Hooligans won $50,000. He kept the biggest portion of the money because he has a platform, but he paid everyone else fairly.
You're a part of this team. I'm putting you in position to be successful. Not from me, but from you. If we ever fall out, you good. You got your own and I was giving him bread. I'm not a piggy bank, bro. I ain't keep the whole bag from the freaking game. Kept the lion's share. Of course. Who else has a platform? Nobody on my team has a platform. I paid everybody. Everybody got bread for the game. Even Steve-O made money for the game.
Platform is paying a little bit more.
My deal is come out. Without me, you can only do so much for people, bro.
Chris later invites Tommy Handles, another member of the Hooligans, to the live and confirms with Tommy that Chris paid everyone. I'm not gonna lie though, Tommy was kind of just being a yes man, so.
Hey Tommy, you get paid?
Always get paid. Always, every time.
Sometimes they don't be astronomical amounts, but you get paid though. It depends on whatever I make. I do it.
Later, Greg joins Chris's Instagram live, and they talk about the situation. Chris explains the real reason why he didn't fully play Greg in the free game was because Greg stabbed him in the back because he was DMing Nick Briz and going on a live stream with Carlos. Remember that clip from the beginning? Yeah. Months later, Chris still remembered that. He then spazzes on Greg and says that he pulled him out the mud, and that if things popped off, Greg was supposed to have his back. He also blamed Greg for burning the bridge between him and Ball's wife. The entire live, Greg is just taking all this, while Chris is just yelling like he's at therapy.
Whenever the bag was up, I showed you analytics. Everybody got paid, got the percentage, right? When the bag started getting lower, I made it clear. I said, yo, video's only making this much. I can't pay for everybody to pop out and feed their pockets.
My whole issue was the freaker game. You said that you had 15, you ended up getting 25. I got paid $1,000 for that game. Regardless, I didn't perform. Yeah, you absolutely right. But I got paid $1,000 out of that when the losing team got $2,200 apiece.
All right, so since we doing that, since we doing that, Greg, since we doing this, right? Let's speak on the real reason why it got like that, right? Let's speak on the real reason why I gave you a ban. Why did I give you a ban, Greg?
Why'd you give me a ban? I don't know. You riddle me that.
Because you stabbed me in my back, bro.
Bro, because I went on live and I let Carlos.
Because you're DMing Nick, telling people that you don't have problems with them. That my problem, not your problem. When I grabbed you out the mud, Nick was never gonna grab you out the mud, bro. You're supposed to be my brother. You're supposed to be my dog. I put clothes on your back.
Your beef with Nick was between you and Nick, not me.
And that's why you
that nigga, they ain't trying to get him like he's good in.
Come on, homie. You put that shit in the head, bro. You doing dumbass, lame ass internet shit right now, bro. You doing that. The fact is, you stabbed me in my back and you're supposed to be my bro. I'll never tell me with your heart and tell your heart that your problems ain't my problems. Ever.
When you started the Hoolies, I quit everything for you, bruh. My job,
everything I ain't doing. What are we talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you slide in that dude's heart. My heart shit. Talking about how their problems is not my problems.
I didn't say that your problems wasn't mine. I
That's exactly what you said. It's online. It's important. It's supposed to be my dog. He spun on me for a couple hours. And some people he don't even know that was really people I don't jack. Shit is whack, bro.
April 8th, 2022. So after Chris is finishing punching trees outside, Greg goes on Instagram Live to defend himself. Greg also clarifies that the only thing Nick Briz told him was him being supportive, and the only thing Greg said back was I appreciate it, and that Chris was just being over dramatic.
Boy, did nobody stab you in the back, bruh? Because I hopped on a live and Carlos hopped in? Wasn't nobody talking about doing no video with Carlos, bruh? You talking about when the bag got bigger, I got paid? No, I did not, bruh. I quit everything to come out there and hoop with the Hoolies, bruh. Quit everything, my job and everything. You can ask my wife, bruh. Anything that me and Nick was talking about was him saying that he supported me and he's rooting for me. That's all that Nick was saying in the inbox. And I was just telling him I appreciate it. That's it.
Immediately after this, Chrswht then returns from the woods and hops on Instagram Live to fire back on Greg. He states the differences from what Nick did and what he did, and like a million more things. He even gets as petty as saying that Greg isn't good at basketball, and that every time he edits the videos, he has to edit out all of Greg's misses and air balls, so he doesn't look bad on camera.
First of all, I took care of all my flights, my hotels. I paid for everything myself to go be a part of everything that we did. I think Nick got me like 1 or 2 flights. He was also paying people to chat in my ear to start confrontation for his channel and risking my freedom. There's a very, very big difference here in what's going on with this dude Greg, what Nick did with me. Very, very big difference, bro. If you want to make your money, go make videos, bro. Go make videos. You got a channel monetized, bro. If you're so worried about money, build your channel, bro. Go. Reality is, all the misses and all the air balls and the 2 for 19 videos that I've edited so you don't look bad, alright? Once people start to really see what's going on, they're going to realize what's really going on. But he's really not that great. He has good days. He's a streak shooter. But I beat him every time I play him, so I showed him love. I tried to put him on. I thought it was a friend. Dude is not a friend.
April 16th, 2021. Chrswht goes on the Peer-to-Peer podcast, hosted by Agent 00 and Love. He talks about how his entire team have excluded themselves from him, and that's going to go hire new Hooligans members.
Public service announcement. There are some new Hooligans that are lit. There are some new Hooligans that are lit. Pulling up, and we are about to be outside. There you go.
May 9th, 2022. Almost back-to-back-to-back, every single member of the Hooligans team leaves the squad. Tommy Handel states that he's leaving the YouTube video.
Am I still a hooligan? And your answer is no, I am no longer a hooligan. I'm taking a step away from that, and I'm gonna start doing my own content by myself.
Durag Debo leaves the Hooligans on the Instagram story, but I don't think that he was really doing anything anyway. And JJ Moore leaves to join the G League. At the end of this day, all members of the original Hooligans team have officially left. The original Hooligans team is officially over. And Chrswht is forced to find some new maniacs. The street ball world is crazy, and I have no clue how this will turn out. I guess time will just have to tell. And this is just where we are now. At the time that I'm recording this video, Chris is the only original member of the Hooligans team that's still left standing. And he's still grinding hard on YouTube to become the biggest street ball player out there. Greg, however, is on his own street ball path. And you can currently find him posting his own trick shot videos and traveling the world playing competition. Tommy is currently on his own grind as well. And he seems to be much happier than the other members. I have absolutely zero clue what Durag Debo is doing. And JJ Moore is living it up in the NBA G League, chasing his real NBA dreams. I wonder in 5 years, who will be the most successful out of this team? I don't know. Only time will tell. But that's just what I think.
That's how it be sometimes, man.
Situation in the comment section down below. Do you still have Chrswht?
Back on that fuck shit. Back on that fuck shit. Back on that fuck shit. Let's get to that beef.
In just 1 week, the Savage Squad has completely fallen apart. Carlos is screaming,
Team Hooligan! You quit! You
Chris is trying to fight.
Come outside. Come outside. Come outside. Come outside. Come outside. Do not go come outside. Shut your
DMs are getting leaked in front of millions. Tweets are going viral every minute. And Iman is still somewhere in a car smoking a blunt without saying a word. Chris actually was even in my comment section, responding to people and trying to get into fights. It's gotten this serious. In the past week alone, Chris has more than doubled his subscriber count, gaining almost over 100,000 subscribers overnight, while Nick has lost tens of thousands. Things are falling apart, and every person Nick has ever beefed with is loving it. From Duke and Kai of AMP,
Nick came at me being weird. It got to a point I got annoyed with the situation. I told him, bro, when I see you, I'm gonna put you in your and I meant that with my whole heart.
I don't care if he responds, bro. The kid is a boy. He's a
all the way to Kenny from Too High.
What's good, everybody? Man, it's your boy Kenny Chow. We back with another video, man.
People are assembling over this common enemy of Nick Briz like it's the dang Avengers vs. Thanos. And Chris is dang near becoming a people's champion. The entire basketball industry has been lit on fire, and nobody knows what's going to happen next. This might be one of the most eventful weeks in YouTube basketball history. This is the story of week 1 of the Savage Squad fall-off. Something I like to call the aftermath.
A man who works hard.
The aftermath.
Put it on my soul. Don't want no things hitting class like they songs. I get down to my last, then I'm running in your own minds, blowing up my phone, trying to see where I'm at.
Alright, y'all, so it's officially been 1 week since Savage Squad fell out, and holy crap, so much has happened. not even just of this beef situation, but also behind the scenes for me too. First thing, y'all blew my subscriber count goal of 10,000 subscribers, no lie. So she dropped me, bro. She dropped me. But it's okay though, because not only did we hit 10,000 subscribers, but also in my last video that set the entire hip-hop OG community on fire. In part 1 of this fallout, I stated that Chris said the words "come to death row" as a reference to the rap group NWA. I got this from the movie Straight Outta Compton, a documentary on this rap group that also showcased the origin of Death Row Records. But this, in fact, was not a reference to NWA. And believe me, I had every single hip-hop OG on the freaking planet scolding me on my rap history. Even verified pages. This reference didn't even have anything to do with the beef, but people freaking jumped on it. So yeah, my bad, y'all. I apologize. Y'all OGs can take your all-black suits off in place right now. So go check my Instagram out. Nah, but for real though, my bad, y'all, my bad. And let me run my disclaimer real quick so I don't get pushed off a cliff in the comments. All art fell apart on September 20th, so this is exactly 1 week later. I did this on purpose so I could gather everything to the best of my ability. If you haven't seen part 1 of the situation, make sure you watch that video, a teammate who has autism. In all of Nick's videos, although Nick is essentially the producer of the show, more people actually watch the videos for Nick's teammates rather than him, meaning Nick's teammates tend to be more entertaining than Nick is. This tatted up polar bear looking dude is Chris, and he's the one who exposed Nick for everything. Chris has now made his own team called the Hooligans, and he's currently trying his best to tarnish Nick's name and build his own brand. Now this dude right here is named Carlos. He's considered to be the comedic relief / wild card of the team. Carlos will dribble the ball off his own foot and then tell the defender that he's their dad. I've never seen anything like it, but the audience loves it. Chris also exposed that Carlos has autism, and Chris claims that Nick has been manipulating Carlos the entire time. Carlos is apparently only getting paid $1,200 a month, while Nick is bringing in over $40,000. Now this Venice Beach Hooper looking dude is named Chauncey. He's the best player on the squad. He's really quiet though, so you won't hear a single word from him in this beef. And this substitute teacher who just chills in the back of the class while throwing on a movie looking dude is named Iman. Iman is probably still somewhere by himself, smoking a blunt in the back of his car, with a hoodie on, looking depressed, and not saying anything. I would dang near bet money on it. I'm gonna turn that into a meme. Alright, now let's get into this beef. September 20th, 2021. I'm starting off pretty much exactly where I left off last video. Carlos goes on Instagram Live and is absolutely flipping out. He talks about how the Savage Squad falling out is breaking him, and that he doesn't know what to do.
I just don't understand this shit, bro. Everything I don't did for this shit, bro. I don't did this. My shit is just broken in pieces, dog. 3 options for me. Boss Life, Savage Squad, Hoodies. All this wrapped around my head it's tricking my head like, bro, it bothers me so much.
September 21st, 2021, 10 a.m. Chris goes on YouTube Live and says that Nick got his Instagram banned. He then continues to say that Carlos is being manipulated by Nick. He later goes on to state that he'll leak Nick's address.
Hoolies, yo, he reported my IG, bro. Got my shit banned. Yo, he's manipulating Carlos as we speak. He called me with Carlos and started lying to Carlos in his ear. He tried to say that I told him what he should get from Carlos's channel. I'm like, what? Bro, why would I tell you what you're gonna get from Carlos' channel? What the fuck? This guy's a weirdo, bro. Hey, add my IG if you want me to post Nick's address. Since he got my page deleted, add my IG, I'll post both of his addresses, bro.
1 p.m. Chris grabs Mia Khalifa's old living room set, or at least it looks like it, and does an interview on why he's leaving the Savage Squad. He states how he met Nick and makes some more accusations on him.
But there was just a lot of confrontational moments and just character traits that I noticed. Like every time I spoke to him, he just always made sure that he mentioned how he didn't feel like he owed anybody anything from the channel. No, this is mine. I built this. I don't owe anybody anything. And it was when I noticed that type of behavior that I kind of realized, all right, I have to do everything for myself here. I have to take the situation I'm in and I capitalize on myself. Yo, the only reason why I have a channel is because when we went to LA to play Chrswht, I basically told them, I'm bringing my cameraman, I'm shooting my content, or I'm not playing. When we got to LA, I paid for my own hotel stay and everything. Nick didn't even cover the trip. He bought me a $250 Spirit flight ticket. Didn't pay for the hotel. I paid for my own hotel there. Mind you, he's making thousands of dollars off the video. You know how much money he made off the Chrswht video? He's making tons, but he didn't even cover my fucking hotel. Got there, and Nick tried to tell me that Chris London said that I couldn't film. I confirmed with Chris London that Chris London never said that, bro. He never told Nick that I can't bring my cameraman to the front. So Nick was intentionally trying to make it so I can't get the content.
Essentially, a couple months ago, Chris and the Savage Squad played 2Hype, another YouTube content creator group. And when they played 2Hype, Chris is essentially saying that Nick tried to make it so that Chris couldn't record his own footage. He says that Nick even went as far as lying, saying that one of 2Hype's members, who was a Christopher London dude, said that Chris couldn't record, which just didn't happen. Like, it was just a straight lie. Christopher London never said that. Also, why is everybody named Chris? Even the dude who's doing the interview is named Chris.
That's the thing about these big name content creators, man. They don't know nobody to make it.
The mic'd up. After I'm done, I go try to do the 1v1 I have in cash. The footage is deleted. It's gone. It's not on my camera. How? Where? My boy literally confirmed. Yo, I watched the footage, like 3 minutes of it. You checked up the ball, everything. The Cash Nasty footage is gone.
Chris is essentially making the accusation that Nick actually deleted one of his videos off of his camera roll so that he couldn't post the content. Obviously, I can't tell if this is true or not, and this is just an accusation. But if this is real, that's wild.
Only reason why I have that footage is because Cash sent it to me.
That's fucked up.
Shout out to Cash, man. Fucking realist.
Chris then goes on to talk about how Nick is two-faced to be talking trash behind everyone's back.
I swear, bro. Dude, this is two-faced, bro. In front of them, yo, I love you, you're my brother, you're this, you're that. As soon as they're not around, it's just me and him, we're talking. He's talking about how Carlos is fucking terrible. Every other day is a conversation about who's replacing Iman. Literally. Chauncey, bro, I literally had text messages with a dude named John that we pulled up to RDV because he wanted to replace Chauncey. He literally would say how he doesn't feel like he should pay Chauncey.
Nick does.
Yeah, giving you paying your money, like I can get an A1 Uber visa.
Man, these white people are weird. Like, the ones that they can just control everybody and fuck niggas over.
And around that time, I started recording, keep receipts, bro, because I'm like, this guy's a piece of shit. This guy's a terrible person, bro.
Where did you get this fucking entitlement from, bitch?
And the first thing you think about is how you can replace Chauncey with somebody who's an Uber. My camera footage is missing. You try to lie to me about my cameraman not being able to go to the run. He's literally cornering everybody to where he's in control of everybody's channel, everybody's shit.
That'd be crazy.
And he owns everything.
He also says that Nick was trying to set up Cash Nasty, another massive YouTube creator of over 2 million subscribers, who's actually a big reason why Nick got a lot of success because he reacted to all of his videos. Chris states that Nick was actually trying to set up Cash Nasty to get hurt in one of his videos.
There was a situation where Nick and Cash were involved in something. What's that?
Put it like this, he tried to set Cash up on some shit for content, bro. That's the thing. He doesn't care what he does. He doesn't give a fuck who he hurts. He doesn't care about Carlos. He doesn't care about Chauncey. He doesn't even care about his cameraman. As long as he gets content. He's like a content whore. He'll do anything.
He then proceeds to say that Nick only cares about content and nothing else. And then he goes on to state that no matter what, he will never join Savage Squad again.
If Nick were to try to resolve this issue, could you see yourself playing with Savage Squad again?
No. Fuck Nick. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You're a terrible person.
Damn, yeah, fuck Nick Briz. I think Nick Briz, man, they get too much power and get big-headed. Like, bruh, he all trying to make it. He all trying to win. You know what I'm saying? I understand the long and shit, but at the same time,
2 p.m.
niggas trying to
Chris
make
goes
it,
on
bro.
live with Aiden Ross, one of the most massive YouTubers / Twitch streamers in the community, with over 2 million subscribers. He leaks messages where Nick admits he's faking content and setting up Cash. He then exposes some more things.
So he facts, no partying for you, bro. LOL. Not till after Monday. We should pay somebody to fuck with. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Cash had no idea, bro. It's fucked up, bro.
That's fucked up.
Idea, bro. It's fucked up, bro.
4 p.m. Nick responds to all of Chris's allegations by posting this long-ass video on his story. I'm going to cut it up for you guys so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Hit that like button. He also states that he sees everyone on the team as family and that he feels like he lost a brother.
Carlos and Chauncey, those are my brothers. I thought Chris was my brother. Treated him as if he was my brother. Did everything I could to help him. Strategized every single day. Worked with him about YouTube. How can we grow? What can we do? Let's do this. Strategize game plan every day with my family. Me, Chauncey, and Carlos are rock solid. Those are my brothers, and those will be my brothers for life. And it seems that we just have lost a brother to the internet. Respond to some of the things that are being said about me. Chris is saying that I don't pay Carlos and I don't do anything for Carlos. Let me take a moment to explain to you guys everything that I'm doing for my brother and my family and my blood, Carlos, all right? Carlos was living on the streets of Oak Street, Kissimmee, Florida, living on the park bench for 5 months straight.
You don't treat niggas like shit because where they come from.
With absolutely nothing. I saw a potential and a purpose and a plan for Carlos. I saw that Carlos had entertainer skills and that he would be a very valuable YouTube member.
You don't treat him like a flavor like shit because he came from nothing.
Living in the streets of homeless living. And I put him on this team. I coached him. He loves me. I love him. I did everything I could back in those initial moments to help him get where he's at today.
He pretty much denies everything that Chris is saying, and he explains how he essentially took Carlos from being homeless to being famous. So the argument about him manipulating Carlos should be destroyed.
At the time, was giving Carlos anywhere from $1,600 to $2,000 a month in the beginning stages of my content. I got Carlos his cameraman. I set up Carlos's YouTube channel. I set up Carlos's Instagram account. I ran unlimited promotion for Carlos to grow
his brand, to grow his social media following. Carlos gets every single dollar that he makes off of Instagram. He gets every single dollar that he makes off of YouTube. I hate to put it like this, guys, and break it to you, but Chris is an extremely greedy, power-struck man, okay? Homie would push me to promote him and post him, and I'm gonna put you in the trunk if you don't post this. And I dealt with that shit for too long, y'all. And I finally told him, fuck you. I'm not posting your shit. Stop fucking texting me, man. Every video we have on our page is a real video that we went out and that people put their lives on the line to create and make for your guys' entertainment.
Chris responds to Nick on his Instagram story. He calls Nick out to post his analytics.
Man, you never know, bro.
How much money
You
he makes.
never know.
Post how much your
You like
analytics
to write on
made
like
last
time,
month,
though. You
and
dig
then
what I'm
post your
saying?
cash apps and transactions
never
with
know,
how much
bro.
money you sent your brothers. Come on, brother man. Lying's not gonna help you here anymore.
September 22nd, 2021. This is just the next day. I don't know why I said that so dramatically. Carlos goes on Instagram Live to essentially say that Chris is a female dog. He's also trying his absolute best to defend Nick. Everyone in the comments is spamming things such as Carlos is being held at gunpoint, and Carlos has a knife to his head, and blink twice if you're being held hostage, etc. In the live, he states that Chris has done some messed up things. He says that Chris treated Nick like garbage. He says that Chris is only leaving the group to benefit himself and not for the other Savage Squad members. Carlos then tries to defend Nick as best as he can, and he leaks a video of Chris and Nick on the phone.
You a politician ass bitch. You treat a nigga like shit, bro. I seen it in my eyes, bro. You want what's best for you. You don't care about the fucking team. I knew you was a mistake. Be on the Savage Squad. A 32-year-old man don't know how to act his own motherfucking age. I like a whole 16-year-old, or 17-year-old, or 18-year-old. I got the video.
Know, bro.
I expose you.
When you gonna post a 101, Chris?
What's up, gang, gang?
Hey, so let's talk, man.
Nah, we
You
can't,
wanna
man.
tell Carlos I'm
40-40.
fucking him over, right?
Crazy.
How am I fucking Carlos over? Let's
Crazy.
talk. You told me how much to take his channel. What'd you tell me to do? What did you tell me to do? What did you tell me to do with Carlos's channel? And how much of the percentages was you trying to take on the pay-per-views? You said for me not to give Carlos a damn penny of no pay-per-views or no merch. You said Carlos took the business route. You said Carlos took the business route. So to give him that money each month and not to give him none of the website and not to give him none of the pay-per-view. Motherfucker, you're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Me and Carlos are rock solid, my boy. Good luck.
Chris and Nick then get into a humongous fight. Pretty much
So every time that Chris was trying to say not to get Carlos on a single drop.
Someone in his family is going to shoot him with a gun.
I never heard of a gangster run to the internet like you. Hold up, man. You're a big talker. I'm about whatever. You a big talker. You a big talker. You a big talker. Name one time I snitched. Yeah, my brother will put a bullet through your head if you run up in our house like you said you were. I said we shoot your brains out if you ran up in my house. That's what I said. And you got mad.
1 p.m. Carlos posts on his Instagram Live completely cussing out Chris. He says, the Hooligans and Savage Squad for life.
Yo, I want everybody to let the fuck know. Fuck these hooligans. Fuck you, Chris. You fucking bitch ass nigga. You say you a savage, right? How the fuck a man gonna help you out? You wanna take a motherfucking advantage, nigga? You a bitch ass nigga. Run about your shit, nigga. Fuck ass nigga.
So Carlos is angrier than the baby mama who just got cheated on. The reason he's flipping out is because in that previous call that I just showed you guys, Nick accused Chris of saying that he wanted all the money. Nick also said that Chris didn't want Carlos to get paid. Just wanted to fill you guys in on that if you guys got confused. Now back to his rage.
You wanna take all that motherfucking money, nigga? All the merch, nigga? And the pay-per-view, nigga? You a fucking phony. You a
But this nigga let money on you compare their whole attitude, bro.
Day in, day out, nigga. So be on the fucking team? You a bitch.
It's all about money on with these
One of
niggas,
the
bro.
people who Nick allegedly set up to get messed up in one of his videos responds to this whole situation. He says how he's disappointed in Nick, and he says he's unfollowing Nick on all social medias and is cutting him off as a friend.
I would have never thought of all people, this would come from him. That shit really hurt me, Nick. What else to do with a swung on me, bro? That put my brain,
Hey, you
my
really
team,
got swung on?
I could have got for some content, for some clicks, bro. It's a fucked up situation, bro. This shit left me hurt, bro. Didn't expect it from him, man. Didn't even get a real man apology. I'm just not gonna affiliate myself with him no more. I'm gonna follow him, block the text. I haven't responded to him in 3 days. I just waiting on a real apology.
With NFL Sunday.
I haven't responded to him in 3 days. I just waiting on a real apology. And
Cash then proceeds to comment, I don't want people sending hate towards anyone. I had to speak my truth and let you guys know my thoughts. Chris hops in this comment section as well, and he proceeds to comment, the worst part is, ... I don't know why he put all these dots, like these are completely unnecessary. But I wouldn't tell that to his face though, so I'm just gonna keep reading. We respond to you, bro, ... He not even sorry, homie mad at you, ... for knowing the truth. Everyone who Nick has ever beefed with starts reacting to this situation. If you want to see these beef storylines themselves and see why each one of these people has their own individual grudge against Nick, check these videos out on my channel. But it's seriously like the Avengers getting up on Thanos. September 22nd, 2021, 5:05 p.m. Chris pulls up on Nick in person and posts the whole thing on Twitter. Twitter absolutely starts going crazy.
Looking like a bitch. He don't want to come outside. He a female little bitch. Chrswht is too much emotional, bitch.
Nick on Twitter by reposting a bunch of memes. Everyone on Twitter continues to go insane. September 23rd, 2021. Nick goes on Instagram Live and is shooting around with Carlos and Iman. Apparently, Iman finally woke up out of hibernation from his car. He's probably still hot. The chat is still mad about this whole situation, so everyone just spams L's and free Carlos. So my OGs out there who don't understand what L means, L stands for loss. So pretty much everyone is spamming L in order to say that nobody's rocking with Nick. September 24th, 2021. Now fast forward a couple hours. There's word of mouth that Carlos is going to be doing an interview with Chris with the wrist. The same dude who interviewed Chris on Mia Khalifa's couch. Chris goes on Instagram to say that Nick is paying Carlos to lie. He states that whatever Carlos is going to say on this interview is going to be a lie.
it looks like there's an interview coming out tonight. Carlos did an interview with the same guy who interviewed me. What's happening is, I'm going to keep it a bean. If Carlos Garza goes on there and lies, I'm telling you right now, Nick is pawning him because Nick is scared of his appearance being that he's taking advantage of a person who has autism.
This interview ended up never getting pushed out because of technical issues. RIP. But I hit up the dude who conducted the interview. He pretty much just said that Carlos was defending Nick the entire time. September 26th, 2021. Chris tweets out that Carlos is being manipulated again. Chris goes on Instagram Live as if he's talking to Carlos directly. He states that Carlos is still being manipulated, and he states some new things. He says that Nick is going to get beat up if he goes to Record Park.
Carlos, Nick is asking you to go on live and do all this because he's trying to save his face, kid. He's trying to save his face, kid. You're damn bad, man. You're allowing somebody to manipulate you, bro. You're going hard for it. I was also told by several people, pretty big guys in New York, man, that it don't matter. He is green as fuck, bro. Homie's green.
September 27th, 2021. Chris claims to have just been minding his own business in front of some cameras when Nick started antagonizing him. He starts telling Nick to come outside so they can fight.
What's wrong with you, bro? Just run my fade. Run my fade. If you really want to antagonize me so much, come outside off camera and run my fade, bro. Bro, you're such a weird guy, bro. Just come outside, bro. He's definitely trying to get me arrested, bro. That's what's happening. He's gonna try to get me arrested. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna hurt him, and he's gonna tell on me, bro. And I'm like, bro, just come outside then, bro. Just come outside. Stop doing this on the camera inside the gym and talking to fucking people going like this inside the gym like he faked on his videos. He's like this. Like trying to act like he's trying to square up, and I'm like, bro, come outside, bro. Stop doing this, bro. I just want to beat him up.
At the time of this video, Nick hasn't responded yet. This leaves us to where we are now. Chris's channel has completely taken off. At the time of this recording, he has over hundreds of thousands of subscribers, over double the amount he had before the situation broke out. Comparatively, Nick has lost about 20,000 subscribers. I'm not gonna lie though, I honestly don't think that this is gonna impact Nick that much because his following is so huge. Now, at this point in time, the Savage Squad and the Hooligans are pretty much at war. They're both in a race on who's gonna come out on top, and only time will tell who will win. The situation is still unfolding to this day. This has only been week 1 of the aftermath. If this situation gets even bigger, I'll drop another one next week. I have 2 more documentaries completely recorded I'm gonna try to drop throughout the week. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button, the like button. We're on the road to that 15K right now, and I put a time.
Alright, we back. So that just goes to show you, bro, it's like people can snip that shit a smile away. If you on some fake ass fraud shit, like I'm talking about like real fake, like this motherfucker, man, you know, we know he don't really care about the black community or really in general, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, he don't even care about his own people, you know what I'm saying? Because like you put your people into horrible situations to lose their lives. And yeah, you can lose your lives free, but you put yourself in that situation, which they all is at the end of the day, but like y'all exploring the community, which, hey, I ain't cap at the time. They probably like that shit. Because they like, man, we get all this goddamn attention. The hood turning up. We lit in the bitch. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the time, you know, people want more than that. And it's just like, I don't know, man. And plus, he's white. So it's like, bro, you come into our community, fucking people over, bullshit happening, and you think you're just sweet? Nah. So it was going to last long, bitch. But that's the end of the video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that, bitch. And we out this bitch. Hood and outside. Big crip in it. Gangsta and outside shit, man.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.